Good morning. This morning we are going to travel from Lexington, Michigan up the coast of Lake Huron to, we don't know.
Be determined.
To be determined. We thought this morning with the wind report, the wind is offshore, blowing out of the west, which on Lake Huron means that along the shoreline it keeps it pretty mellow. Doesn't have much fetch. We'd be in the leeward side. And so we're going to try and get basically as far north as we can. We'd like to get across Saginaw Bay because tomorrow's wind and wave report is worse, and we just want to get those miles behind us today if we can while the weather's favorable. So this morning the engines are running. We have a problem when we're connected to shore water. We're not getting any pressure, so it's either time to back flush the filter or something, but we need to cap off our freshwater tank because that still works fine. So we're going to do that this morning before we leave and then drop the lines. Looks like there's a little rain we might have to push through, but on the radar it's really light rain with no thunderstorms or no heavy rain. So we're going to get the boat prepped and get ready to get as far north as we can, I guess.
Yeah, cruising the thumb today.
Cruising the thumb. Well, we're pretty sure I can see my breath. I'm up in the bridge now, so the house batteries did their thing again. I can tell the inverter needs to be reset. So I'm gonna have to kill the power to the inverter and get it reset. It was working fine for like 10 trips. So I don't know if that's just something that happens or it's going to continue to happen or something's wrong in the programming or what, but we're so close to home I'd rather deal with that at my dock with my tools. But the benefit of that is we have to run the generator today to keep our refrigeration going, which means we can turn the heat on up here in the bridge. And it is cold. I think it's, you know, low 50s, but we're noticing we were talking to each other, we can see our breath, so I think it's real damp and cold. Sailboat just took off to go north, so we're going to head out here in a minute. The lines are all prepped. We put some water in the tank. Generator's warmed up, engines are warmed up. As soon as Kathy's ready, we're going to drop the lines and hit it.
Come on, buddy.
Here comes Ollie for his departure routine.
Yes. Come on up, buddy.
He will get bungeed in. If we don't leash him up, we have found him on the bow. We have found him. He's learned to get off some docks on his own, so when we're departing and docking, he has to get strapped in because
Okay, he's a mama's boy.
he's the mama's boy, and wherever mama goes, he has to go. So I think we're ready. Everything. Hold that line, that's probably good. about an hour out of Lexington, made about 20 miles, and sea state's not terrible. If we were going any other direction, it'd be very tolerable. However, we're taking them right on the nose. It's probably built up to about, they're 1 footers, but the period is so short that it's just kind of a chop, chop, chop ride. So again, I got her playing down into the waves and doesn't seem to be getting much worse at the moment. But we're, constantly looking at what port is next. And we just know the Great Lakes can twist around in a matter of minutes. So we got her pointed almost due north and trying to get as much ground behind us as we can. And maybe once we get a little closer to land, we'll be more in the lee and the waves will die down. We'll just kind of have to take it as it goes. We're approaching Harbor Beach Inlet, the lighthouse and the breakwall. We were going to try and come up this way last night, but we're sort of glad we stopped early and we got a nice dinner. But this is sort of the last harbor that we can see on the charts anyway, before we reach the tip of the thumb and have to cross Saginaw Bay. I'm not worried about crossing the mouth of Saginaw Bay. The waves are pretty chill, but there's so much fetch and so much open water there that it's sort of been something we've been worried about. So Harbor Bay is kind of basically the tip of the thumb. We're about to cross the open mouth of Saginaw Bay. If we get blown off or have to turn around, this is probably where we come back to, but the way things are looking and the way the radar looks and the wind, I think we can make it across. So here we go.
Being on early so you can see how chill it is.
Yeah, so Ollie's
Our indicator of
our indicator of the rough sea state, and he's doing good, so I think we'll keep pressing on.
yeah.
We're about halfway across Saginaw Bay. We're calling it our mini Michigan crossing because we are right out in the middle of the mouth of Saginaw Bay. We cannot see land, 360 degrees, no land. A little bittersweet because it's kind of the last big offshore crossing of our trip. Something kind of cool about being out here and not being able to see land. The sea state is not terrible, it's not great. It's probably 2 to 3 foot, mostly rollers, nothing's really breaking. And every once in a while there'd be a good 4 footer or something that will kind of roll us a little bit, but nothing terrible. We are heading towards, we're an hour and a half from the tip of the thumb, or about an hour and a half from land on the other side of the mouth of Saginaw Bay. And it seems like the closer we get to the land on the other side, that possibly the sea state is decreasing. But yeah, about an hour and a half more, and we'll be across the mouth of the bay. We're going to get snug back up to land on that side and work our way north and see how much further we can get. Again, it's all based on what we see for wind and what we see for weather and daylight and marina availability. So about halfway across the mouth of Saginaw Bay on our mini Michigan crossing.
Come on, buddy.
What you got there? It's a little too rough for lunch, so we have our snack cooler packed full.
Yes.
Well, we can see the east coast of Michigan again, so land all. We're still about an hour out of Alpena or Thunder Bay, and we're sort of making the decision right now to continue on north, up around Presqu'île, and get up into Rogers City. I think that's what we'll do. The lake seems to be agreeing with us. The sun is out. We just had our lunchbox charcuterie, so I think we'll keep trucking forward. I think once we get around Presqu'île, who knows, that's the direction the wind's coming from. Stuff might change, but if it doesn't, I think it's going to do us good for the rest of our trip to get over to Rogers City. The reason we're kind of doing that is we may have to sit a day. Today is Tuesday. Tomorrow, Wednesday, doesn't look like anybody will be able to move. So we may sit tomorrow, and then Thursday and Friday are about our only two weather windows to get across Mackinac Straits and down Lake Michigan before the winds fill in again behind. And already Friday is starting to close in on us, so we're kind of, as usual, making up more miles than we had intended, but we gotta kind of do that so that we can get home, and we don't want to get stuck 60 miles from home and have to sit for a week. About 6 miles off the Thunder Island Lighthouse and Sugar Island National Park. We can see Alpena off to our port, and we're looking into Thunder Bay. So Thunder Bay is directly off our port. Thunder Bay Island and Sugar Island are directly off the bow. And as we sort of come a little bit east of those islands, the sea state's picking up, kind of as predicted. The land's sort of no longer blocking it, but we'd have to go around Thunder Island and make our turn to the northwest. We're going to try and get up into Rogers City, and things are picking up a little bit, but we're going to plow through. On Middle Island, just off to our port bow. sort of hoping that the sea state calms down. I'm not sure it's going to until we can get a little more westerly. We just passed Leland Tug, and they will be crossing their loop, I think, in Muskegon. So we're both fighting this sea state that kind of just picked up and got a little gnarly on us. It's not horrible, but it's definitely 2 to 3s, real short period, white cap, and just kind of, it's like going down a dirt road, just boom, 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 boom. But we're keeping her straight ahead, and I'm sort of hoping maybe past these islands, they might get the wind whipping around. If not, got about another 20 minutes and we'll turn a little more westerly. Maybe once we get around the point up there, that will help too, but keep on trucking. Coming around the eastern edge of Presqu'Île. I thought the whole area is just called Presqu'Île. This island here, it says on the chart, says False Presque Island. But coming around the east side of that area, about to make a turn a little bit more to the west. Right here by the island, the waves died down a bit. So I don't know if this lake condition is going to change, or if the island was blocking it or what, but I think we're only just under an hour from the marina, so we can tolerate it. It doesn't get much worse than we just went through.
That's crazy. We're being buzzed by military jets in Michigan.
Freighters, waves are cold.
Yeah.
810 buzzing us.
Yeah, barges.
Welcome home.
Right, welcome home.
Coming up on the real Presqu'Île this time. The last one on the chart was called False Presqu'Île, and I guess that's why it got me, because it wasn't really the real Presqu'Île. So looks like there's a lighthouse on the south end, maybe one out on the west end, but heard about Presqu'Île all my life growing up here, never actually been here, so kind of cool to go around it on the water.
We're in Rogers City.
But we're all tied up in Rogers City, Michigan. We put another long day in today, and yeah, we're not supposed to do that, I guess. But people from Michigan don't like that. But we had a long day out there. We put in the miles, and we just kind of took whatever Mother Nature gave us. So another good day of like weather planning and route planning as we moved along, and everything was kind of okay till we sort of came around the Presqu'île, the island areas up there on the tip of Lake Huron. We came around the corner and got gnarly.
Yeah, it wasn't horrible, but it was just, you know, a little choppier, and the bow wasn't slamming or anything, but it was,
Yeah.
it could have been a nicer ride. Welcome into Michigan. It's freezing today.
It's freezing.
Windy.
Windy.
Yeah.
We are in May. I mean, we're just a couple days from June. And, but probably the coolest thing today, worrying about the waves and passing a freighter, and out of nowhere, we got buzzed by an A-10. It's like, I don't know if they did it on purpose or it's just something they do, but it flew right over the top, and I thought the boat exploded. I mean, it was just the loudest noise, and then he zipped around off our starboard, made a huge circle, came back, buzzed us again, and then gave us a wingtip.
Yeah.
It was
so like he waved at us, said hi, and then he circled twice, and I tried to get it on camera, but I'm in the waves, and so hopefully it'll come out, but it was not.
So that was really cool. We got fueled up here, and we're kind of making a plan for tomorrow. Not exactly sure. Today is Tuesday. We want to get back to Ludington on Friday, so we're just watching the waves, and we may inch our way back home now that we're close enough. I guess that was the goal, is to get through most of Lake Huron when we had the wind out.
Right, because we needed playtime to, in case the weather shifted.
Yeah. So, all tied up here in Rogers City. It's cold, we're shivering, and we're going to bundle up and walk up to the restaurant here and make a plan for tomorrow.
Yep.